Okay, from today, we are going to learn the advanced part of assembly design. First, let's talk about the Assembly Manager. Making full use of Assembly Manager will significantly boost your productivity. First, I'd like to introduce you the Visibility Manager. Use it, you can display and hide all kinds of objects of assembly and components at all levels. For example, shape, wireframe, sketch, point, datum, annotation, and etc. Next one is Layer Manager. It can be used to assign components in several groups, so you can manage them in batch. And the next one is Attribute Manager. Use it, we can enable the multi-column in the assembly tree to display and edit various attributes for the components, such as layer, material, designers, colors, and etc. Another one is Link Manager. For parametric design, sometimes we use parameters to drive the component, and sometimes one component needs to reference some geometry from another component. So how do we check and manage those relations and references? Here is where we can use Link Manager. In it, we can check the link object, associated object, the linked mode, and the status. It will help us to sort out the relationships quickly. And the last one is Search Path Manager. So what does it do? Okay, now let me explain. As you know, when opening an assembly, ZW3D will load the components one by one according to rules. And the Search Path Manager is the tool we can make to set the rules. You can decide the file search paths and prioritize them. And now ZW3D provides 8 search paths available for you. So I will explain one by one. The first priority is current session, which is the resident memory of the ZW3D. And the next one is active folder. When opening an assembly, it will look in the same location as this assembly for the parts and the sub-assemblies. And the next one is saved folder. If ZW3D didn't locate the parts in the same folder as the assembly, it will then look at the last saved path for the part. And the next one is active and its subfolders. It's easy to understand. And the next one is search folders, which is the search path of ZW3D. You can find it in the File tab. And the next one is the working folder. And the next one is active folders recursive directories, which means the upper level folder of active folder. And the next one is component folder, which means the other components saved folder. And the last one is standard parts folder. As you know, ZW3D has built-in standard part library, and by default is in the installation path. To be honest, it's hard to explain very clearly, so it's better to have a try, and I believe you will have deep impression about it. Okay, now let's move over to ZW3D to show you the managers. Okay, next let me show you something about the manager. So the first manager is a visibility manager, which means it can display or hide all kinds of objects of assembly and the components at all levels. Here we can find it in the DA toolbar, Visibility Manager. For example, we can display all the sketches. Here you can see all sketches will be displayed. We can hide it by uncheck it. And also, I can show you another example is about the datum. We can show them all. You can see all the external datums. Okay, then we can hide it. Sorry, it's this one. Hide it. Okay, and also like some other types like wireframe, points, and some other objects. You can manage it in batch. Okay, this one is about a visibility manager. And the second one I'd like to show you is layer manager. Here you can see the layer in the file browser, and we can add more layers in. And here you can see I made 2 layers, fixed part and the moving part. And actually you can check this little box. So when you select the layer, and the corresponding components will be highlighted. Okay. And here you can see we already add some components in the fixed parts layer. Now we are going to add components to the moving parts layer. Okay. So how to add it? Actually, it's quite simple. We just select it, 1, 2, and 3. And here we just select the moving part. Now you can see it's in. Okay, now we click on it. You can see all the 3 parts will be highlighted. Okay, so you can manage them in batch. For example, you can hide it in batch. Okay, and then you can unhide it in batch. Okay, this is about the layer manager. And next one is attribute manager. So let's see how to use it. We can right click on the top of the assembly manager. And here you can see attribute manager. And you can add more attributes in. For example, the layer and the color and even part configs here. And you can add more into the manager. Okay. You can click OK. Now you can see more attributes in the assembly manager. Okay. And for some attributes, actually you can change it directly. For example, the color, you can change it to some other colors. So this is a more intuitive way to check the attributes of the components. Okay. And the next one is a link manager. So as you can see in the top assembly, there are some variables. And those variables will drive the sizes of the different components. So how do I know which components is driven by the variables? If we open and check it one by one, actually it's time consuming. So here is where we can use the link manager. So we can find it in the tool tab, link manager. So here you can see this is the object in the current level. For example, for the D shaft, you can see here, D shaft, it's driving the sizes of the 2 components, spindle and the base plate. Okay, and for the L slider, you can see it's driving the base plate also. Actually, I'm not going to talk a lot about the link manager because we are going to rebuild it very soon. So you just need to know where to check the relations inside the assembly. Okay, the last manager is search path manager. Okay, we can find it in the configuration, file tab, and in the last. Now you can see the search path manager. And here you can check more folders you want to load the components from. For example, more folders. And also you can adjust the priority. For example, you can adjust it to be the top or to be lower place. And for the search folders, actually you can open it here. This is the search folders. Okay, you can add more, or you can just erase the existing folders. Okay. Okay, this is all about the assembly manager.